Let's break down these trades. Take a good look. Everything's explained beautifully. Yuri Kuprianenko is solid. When you really dig into it, there's a well-defined level. Overall, things look good. Chances are the left side held back the asset's movement. It's a bit tough. But on the flip side, the bars are pretty big, hitting around $1 or 1.5. I'd rate it a solid B, maybe a B plus. No major issues there. But yeah, the left side probably stood in the way. Still, this dollar move could have gone through. Everything's described and explained nicely. Low volatility here. The entry was spot on. Honestly, a great trade. No complaints. Big shout out to Yuri Kuprianenko. He's good. I'm not a fan of trades like this. Anyone who's trained with me knows. When an asset starts acting up, we must exit the channel boundaries. We exited here. In these cases, I tend to move the level. This is a tough asset, a heavy one. Moves slow. Take when the asset went from point A to point B, you'd have a hard time holding it. It kicks you out constantly. Definitely a heavy trade. Oftentimes, with this kind of stuff, whether it's a stock or a coin, if you notice it keeps pulling back during breakouts, that's a red flag. Most likely, it'll be a tough ride. Take note. Personally, I steer clear of trading coins or stocks with this kind of movement. It's just bad. Look here again. The asset keeps dipping back every time. Trading assets like this is really tough. So the breakout didn't happen. This is probably down to a lack of experience. But next time, just know it's simply a heavy asset. If you're going to go for assets like this, catch them near their peak. At the top, it'll be easier and the asset could actually make a move. All right, let's move on. Solid trade. Really solid. The volatility cooled off. Very short stop loss. Excellent. Great trade. Just excellent. I'm a fan. We've got a question here. Can you become a good trader without strong math skills? Absolutely. The math needed is super basic, just enough to calculate position sizes or stop loss and take profit. This was another great trade with a very short stop on the trend. Nice work, Vanya. That was a solid trade. Why was it good? Check it out closely. I'll show you. There's a key trick here. You should remember it. If you are writing it down, you're doing great. Watch closely. Do you see it? This is level 3,830. See what's happening? We're testing that level. No major pullback, and we're moving in the direction of the primary trend. This trade was spot on. Very well executed. Following all the basics. Short stop loss set behind the breakout bar. Excellent trade. Very nicely done. Well explained. Good job, Yura. Now, Bahadir. Okay. Apparently, these are just two different trades. I got it. All right, let's take a look. So GBP/USD. Possible signs of a false breakout. See this, Bahadir. To trade false breakouts on Forex, the asset needs to make big moves. Got it? It might seem like a lot, but it's really not. It's not even 1 ATR. From 1.3075 to 1.30. Just 75 points. For GBP, that's barely even 1 ATR. That's why you ended up with 3 losses here. The reason is simple. It's tough to catch a false breakout when the asset barely moves. That's just not enough. To catch a false breakout on Forex, you need the asset to move 200 to 300 points. So unfortunately, this setup wasn't promising. KD per JPY. All right, check it out. Here's problem no. 2. The setup is complicated. Your knowledge of theory obviously needs more work. You're trying to trade some local pattern. Look, what's happening here? You're trying to trade something, but what? It's not really clear. You're going for a short position, but why short? How much does the asset need to move? For crypto, moves of 100 to 200% are great. 50 to 60% are pretty normal too. But here's the question. Why didn't you enter at this point? Or here? Or even here? You've got to understand this. If you're trading Forex and not grabbing the primary moves, it's tough to stay in the market. On stocks and crypto, you can catch both primary and secondary movements. On Forex, it's usually much harder. All right, moving on. Breakout, 0.71 short. Check out how beautifully this person breaks it down. I'm not sure how this trade turned out, but I'm just showing you the setup. The levels are marked accurately. Everything is clear and well written. Great volatility. Even with just this, you're already doing a great job, Robert. Now let's take a look at the hourly chart. The price is pressing tightly to the level. What's next? The 5-minute chart. Moving on. See? It's all beautifully done. Great work. Robert Klitschko, a fantastic trade, clearly explained, absolutely spot on. This is a textbook example, very smart. Definitely saving this one. No, Bitcoin, Dima Kaznachev, you adjusted the level on the 4-hour chart. Nice job, very precise. Adjusting that level on the 4-hour chart was spot on. Great work. Excellent, nicely done. Impressive job, well done. And that trade, outstanding. A solid stop at $200. Great stop placement for Bitcoin. Well done. If you'd stayed in a bit longer, you could have achieved a 3-to-1. Good job. Great trade. All right, Jacob. Limit order for long position. This kind of setup works particularly well for oil. You can enter here with a tight stop. It's a good setup. If you spot the asset hitting the limit, you could have entered even earlier on the fourth bar. Smart move. Nicely described. Everything's clear. Although this bar didn't reach the level, it was still possible to place a limit order. The asset entered beautifully. Well done. Great execution. Entering into the long area was solid. Very nice work. Watch closely. So, how do you calculate your position size? You always have a stop loss. Let's say your stop loss is $50. This formula is universal, works every time. Next, we have our maximum risk per trade. Let's say you have a stop loss of 25 cents per stock. That means you divide 50 by 25 cents, giving you 200 stocks. That's the maximum you can take. So you take the risk per trade and divide it by the stop loss size to get your position size. If this makes sense and you're on board, drop a plus. Take a good look. Now, the daily chart looks fantastic. Great setup. The asset's weaker than Bitcoin. There's a void below. But the daily chart setup is strong. The hourly chart is solid too. Even though it's traveled far, we nailed it on the hourly. This is a perfect example. When the asset touches the level and returns, this is either a retest or a movement toward the primary trend. Valery Kovalenko, hats off, amazing trade. Beautiful execution, no doubt at all. I'm definitely sharing this on the Telegram channel. Let's check it out again. Solid trade, super nice. All right, moving forward. As usual, a great trade, good return. Well done. Alles gut? All right, I just want to show you something. Volodya nailed it. See? He laid this picture out beautifully. If you look closely, you'll notice descending tops here. See that? These are called descending tops. Awesome setup. I really love seeing patterns like this. Super cool. Just remember, these are descending tops. Volodya even wrote, Gerchik is my religion. Have an awesome day, everyone. Love you all. We had a blast today. Some really solid trades. One tip, rewatch the video, especially since the trades were top notch. Look at where mistakes were made and take note. Breaking down trades is always a smart move. Everything's great. Good luck, everyone.